Hello, welcome to this short session today. We're going to be talking about, in a real estate math area, gross rent multiplier, GRM, gross rent multiplier. This is a very common question you may get on the state exam. So you want to understand the theory behind it, the principles, and how the numbers work, okay? Remember, don't forget you need a calculator when you work these problems out, okay? All right, listen, my name is John Enzing. I am a certified real estate instructor both in Louisiana and Florida, and my specialty is to private tutor you, the student, and prep you for the exam. If you need some assistance, go to privateturingsession.com, privateturingsession.com, or you can email me at john.enzing@gmail.com, and I can help you. All right, here we go. Real estate math, we're going to talk about GRM, or gross rent multiplier. Now, you may get a similar problem like this on the state exam, okay? And basically, it gives you the square footage of the problem, okay? It gives you the square footage of the home, and then it tells you 70 cents per square foot. And then it gives you a GRM of 120, and it's asking you, what is the value of this home? What is the value of this home? Now, let's take a look at GRM in theory. Okay, this is very important. In order, working the math problem out is very easy. You can memorize how to do this, but it really does you no good to increase your learning capacity of why the numbers are this way. And so if you understand math in theory first, why it's done this way, you got a better concept of it. You don't have to memorize it, and you can actually use this in your consultation with your clients. Okay. All right. So what is gross rent multiplier? Gross rent multiplier is the valuation of income property, watch this, income property, 1 to 4 single-family residentials, okay? 1 to 4 units. Remember, in your content, anything over 4 units, we use the income approach, okay? That's your potential gross income minus your vacancy, gives you effective minus your net operating income, minus your expenses, gives you net operating income, okay? Divide that by a capitalization rate, and you get the value of a building, watch this, over 4 units. So 5, 6, 7, 10, 20, 100. Okay, the value of those buildings are based on the income. Well, John, what do? We do single family, duplex, triplex, a fourplex. GRM, gross rent multiplier. Okay, so you got to understand that it's the valuation for income producing properties, 1 to 4 single family residential units. Okay, now here's the basic formula. All it is value equals rent times GRM. And let's talk about GRM in specific, okay? What is GRM? Well, it stands for gross rent multiplier. What does that really actually mean? Basically what it is it shows the value of the property as a multiple, okay? So for example, if the property is valued at $180,000 and the GRM is 120, that's the constant, okay? Now, what does that say? The value is based, and it means that the valuation of 180,000, and if I work this out, I'll see that my rent's $1,500 a month, but what it's saying is the value of 180,000 is 120 times the rent, okay? So that's the multiplier of GRM. So that matters, $1,500 a month times 120 gives me 180,000, just like the formula says. But in theory, the way to understand it, the gross rent multiplier is nothing more than the multiple, that number multiplied times the rent gives you the valuation. So 180,000 means that at $1,500 a month, it's 120 times that rent is what the value of the property is going to be. Okay, in theory, that's what GRM means. Now, if you take the rent, and that's what you got to calculate here first. If you go to the problem, you see that the problem is an 1,800 square foot home, and it's renting at 70 cents a square foot. So I've got to calculate 1,800 square feet times 70 cents per square foot, and you can see that my monthly rent is $1,260 per month. Now listen to me carefully. They like to throw these extra steps in there. You see the word GRM, And all of a sudden you're like, okay, no big deal. It's value is equal to rent times GRM. And you look at the problem and then you kind of go, uh-oh, where's my rent? I don't have a rent. So there's a couple extra steps that these test writers put in there to test your knowledge. So to calculate the rent, you've got to take the square footage, because they tell you it's an 1,800 square foot home and it rents for 70 cents per square foot, not $70. Remember, the decimal is very important. Not $7, 70 cents per square foot. So I take 1,800 times 0.7. Now I got my monthly rent at $1,260 per month. And they give me the GRM. The GRM's 120. Okay, so that's given. Now, the formula in review, value equals rent times GRM. Okay, so I know that GRM, in theory, in principle, is a multiplier of my rent, gives me my valuation. Okay, so if we proceed on, we say that the value 1,200 equals 1,260 times my GRM is going to give me 151,200. So what am I saying? Answer C, 151,200. I'm saying that value renting at $1,260 a month is 120 times. Okay, so 120 times the value of the rent gives me that valuation. Okay, now listen to me carefully. This is very important. Lean in here with me on this last statement. Make this note. On a GRM math problem, pay attention to me carefully. Always make sure, or if you have to convert the rent to monthly, hence the name gross rent multiplier. Okay, rent is monthly. Okay, don't confuse this with annualizing under a GIM or gross income. That's another whole new separate tutorial. When we're dealing with GRM, we're dealing with monthly rent. And you say, well, John, it gives you the monthly rent here. That's true. It tells you that the monthly rent, when you calculate it, it gives you the monthly rent at $1,260. But they may make this problem and write it out that a property rents for $24,000 a year with a GRM of whatever number. So you got to take that $24,000 a year, divide it by 12, and get the monthly rent. Okay, very, very important that you pay attention to the unit of measurements. Am I annualized in the problem? And I got to convert to monthly. Okay, pay attention to that. Here, no problems. It's straightforward. It's monthly rent. But you may have an annual figure that you got to convert to monthly. So always remember, GRM math problems, always convert your rent to monthly. And listen, I hope you enjoyed this short session on real estate math, talking about gross rent multiplier. Again, if you need some help, go to privateturingsession.com, privateturingsession.com. Look, best wishes on your exam. Bye for now.